Hey, Zach Crawford here, and I think this is going to be the best video you can watch this year. It's going to be eye-opening for you, and it's going to be a good use of your time if you are not where you want to be, if you're not making the kind of money you want to make in your affiliate marketing business. With that being said, what I'm doing is I'm sharing 5 tips that I wish somebody would have told me when I first got started with my affiliate marketing business, because this would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and honestly, I would have had success 10 times faster. With that being said, before I jump into the tips, if you're brand new to the channel, make sure to go below, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos, and finally comment below and let me know, what do you struggle with, what do you feel like you're currently missing in order to get the results you want. Every single day I select the best commenter and I give away one of my $1,000 courses for free. So all you got to do is comment below for a chance to win. With that being said, I want to talk about tip number 1, which I believe is the most valuable tip of them all, and that is this industry is designed to make you feel overwhelmed and stupid. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean, Zach? It's designed to make me feel stupid. Exactly that. I didn't learn this until, honestly, I made $500,000 in a year, and it was a major eye-opener how I was able to miss this valid point. You know, at that point, when I made $500,000 in a year, right, I was kind of confused and overwhelmed. And you probably think somebody that made $500,000 in a year would have their shit together, right? They would know what they're doing. They wouldn't be overwhelmed. They wouldn't be frustrated. But I was just the opposite. I felt like I was brand new and I didn't really know what I should be doing, right? I felt very lost. And so I was actually getting on a webinar by a mentor that I was following at the time, somebody I really looked up to. And the webinar he used is basically the secrets you're missing. And out of the gate, I was just like, God, this is for me. And so I jumped on the webinar, and it was funny enough, he used a clickbaity title, but he actually gave me the information I needed, and it was more valuable than anything he could have sold me. In fact, he didn't sell anything on that webinar at the time. And the whole webinar was basically about, you have everything you need right now to succeed. You don't need another course. You don't need another mentor. You don't need to study more information. You just need to do the work. And so basically during this webinar, he went through this whole process. And because of the fact that I was stuck in this get-rich-quick mindset, or I'm missing a secret, I missed the whole message of the webinar. Literally at the end of the webinar, he opened up Q&A. And if you don't know what that is, that's questions and answers. And basically I said, hey, I just made $500,000 this year, but honestly, I feel stuck. I'm trying to figure out how do I get to $1 million a year. And he said, Zach, this is exactly what the whole webinar was about. Did you miss it? And I was like, I guess I did. And he basically explained that everybody has a secret they'll sell you. Everybody has a system they'll sell you. Everybody has information they want you to consume. Now, his point of this webinar was not to say people are scammers, not to say that you shouldn't be getting a mentor, not to say that you shouldn't invest in yourself. But what he was trying to say is the point is that most people don't have focus. They don't have anything they're focusing on, so therefore they're pulled in different directions, right? And I want you to understand that the industry is really designed that way. It's not that people are evil. You should be investing in yourself. You should be buying courses. You should be going to events. You should be focusing on getting better, but you got to have focus. You got to focus on yourself and what you're trying to achieve. At the end of the day, understand everybody has a simple 5-step system. Everybody has a secret they'll tell you or they'll sell you. And if you don't watch who you follow, you can be guided down the wrong path. So here's my takeaway from this, right? Understand that not everybody's evil. That is not the point of this message. What I'm saying is, if you do not watch who you follow, if you do not actually focus on your individual business, you're not going to get the results you want. You know, even myself, I have a simple process I follow to get the results that I do. You know, the results I produce in my business, being able to create a 7-figure business, my process is very simple. With that being said, it's not easy. Notice I said simple, not easy. You know, what most people do when they get in this mindset, they're looking for shortcuts, they're looking for hacks, they're looking for secrets. There's no freaking secret. At the end of the day, the secret is doing the work. And that's it. Like, once you understand that, you can get your power back and you can start focusing on building your business. You can start focusing on being consistent in what you're doing. You can start focusing on mastering skills. This is the real secret. There is no secrets. And if you're looking for a secret, that is the very reason that you fail. All right, so number 2 is you need discipline, you need patience, and you need extreme focus. So something I want you to think about really quick is, does an athlete, you know, like a professional athlete, like an NBA star, a football player, a soccer player, depending on what sport you may like, do they get to the big leagues overnight? Or do they have to practice their craft for many, many years in order to make it there? Does a actor that you watch in movies, do they get the leading role out of the gate, or do they have to do a lot of crappy roles in order to practice their skill? So if that is the case, if the answer is yes to both of those questions, why would building a business be any different? Why would you be able to shortcut the process? Why would you be able to get rich quick without doing any work? Why would you be able to come in, have zero business knowledge, and be able to skip to the front of the line and make thousands of dollars every single day? This is the problem. A lot of people are trying to skip the grind. They're trying to skip the work. They're trying to get results quick. We live in an ADD society where we want that instant gratification. We want that quick fix without having to practice the skills necessary to get there. So here's my point. If you want to be successful, you got to be consistent at what you're doing. You got to be patient, right? There's got to be time that you put in the game in order to get the results. I'm not saying it's going to take you 5 years to make a ton of money. I've only been in business for 6 years and I've already become a millionaire. So understand, this is the only business, literally the only business online, the ability we have now to become millionaires in just 2 short years if we focus on what we're doing. Do you realize the power in that? How quick you can become a millionaire if you just focus. With that being said, you got to take out the mindset of getting results overnight, the get rich quick without doing the work, or the easy mentality where you want things to be easy without having to master anything. You can't quit at the early sign of defeat, because a lot of times when you think that you're failing, you're not failing. You're just getting data. You're getting data that tells you what not to do, what you need to change, and what you need to focus on getting better at. So the key to getting rich, the key to getting rich quick, right, is putting in the work consistently, so when that right moment hits you, you actually get rich quick, right? You've been preparing for that time that when the opportunity is actually in front of your face, you can capitalize on it and get rich quick like that. All right, so tip number 3 is to stop dabbling and to develop the go all in mindset. So what do I mean by this? Basically, years ago when I wasn't really doing very well, I had this mindset that I will believe it when I see it. Have you ever heard anybody say that, where they will believe it once they see proof, or they'll believe it once they see results? But if you think of how idiotic this sounds, results do not come before work, right? It's just silly. Why do our brains tell us silly things like this? Well, what I can tell you is I focused on 10% doing, 90% consuming other people's stuff. And the problem with this is I was too busy mentally masturbating, watching other people's success, watching the cars they were buying, watching their traveling and where they're going. And I was basically living through them. I was living through the fantasy that one day I could be that person, right? But I didn't really believe that it was going to work for me. I didn't believe that success could happen to me as well. Once I flipped this on its head, once I decided, all right, you know what, this makes sense. I gotta do the work if I'm gonna get the results. I gotta actually go all in with this and believe it's gonna happen for me too. And once I did that, I literally started competing with some of the biggest names in the industry. At one point, I literally was on the leaderboards with Russell Brunson. If you're familiar with him, that was like a big moment to me. Like, oh my God, what if I really take this serious and I actually go all in? At that point, I wasn't even in the go all in mindset. I was just starting to take action on what I was learning and stop the whole I need more information, getting ready to get ready, because there is no perfect time. Once I went all in, I literally was dominating the leaderboards in every single product I sold. I remember at that point in time in my career, one of the people I was competing against reached out to me and pretended like they were my friend, right? But really all they were trying to do is figure out like who I am, where did I come from. People were even making the saying, Zach just come out of nowhere, which made me laugh incredibly hard because of the fact that for 6 months I was doing the work, and then I come out of nowhere. Then I produce success overnight. So understand, until you actually develop this mindset that you're going to be a producer and not a consumer, you're going to actually produce more of your own work over consuming more of everybody else's work, you're not going to get the results you want. You learn by doing. You don't learn by just constantly learning. 1 month of action taking is 10 times more valuable than 1 year of consuming other people's stuff. All right, so tip number 4 is the power of one. And what I'm about to tell you is the total opposite of probably what you may have heard other people say in the past. And even my mentor at the time even basically preached against the power of one. Basically, what he meant was, having one traffic source, one source of income, this is all dangerous. However, this didn't make sense to me because at the time I was just starting to really make money, right? I was really just starting to get a little bit of traction. So it made no sense to me to create several sources of income, try to master several traffic sources if I was just trying to figure out how to get a little bit of results with one thing first. So here's my thing. You should be following one mentor at a time. A lot of people, like when I talk to them, they're like, hey, Zach, did you hear about this product launch? Hey, Zach, what do you think about this product or this person over here? And what's funny is I completely have my blinders on. There's a couple people I follow here and there. I read lots of books. I go to events. I invest in myself. With that being said, I'm focused on me. I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm focused on where I want to go. And that's why I'm able to produce results. When I did the opposite and I was constantly trying to learn from like 10 different mentors, I was very confused. I was very overwhelmed. And the reason being is everybody has their own way of doing things. The second thing is you want to focus on one traffic source, right? At the end of the day, you can't be everywhere. If you're one person, especially if you have a full-time job, how are you going to manage 5 different traffic sources and do them well? People consume YouTube and act on YouTube different than they do Instagram. People on, say, a podcast definitely have a different mindset than people that are watching something on Facebook. Do you get my point? You got to master one traffic source before you can do number 2, number 3, number 4. You know, people are really worried about they got to be everywhere to make sure they're in front of their customers. And what's funny is they're a jack of all trades, master of none. On the same token, number 3, you should be focusing on one product. Make that successful. Make sales with that product. Focus on getting sales day in and day out. Once you actually get this right, it's very easy to add a second income source in. Really, really easy. So I want you to really realize FOMO, fear of missing out, is a real deal. And what I can tell you is if you're constantly worried you're missing out, you're constantly worried you don't capitalize on this latest opportunity that's hitting you, 5 years from now, you're definitely going to have real FOMO because you're going to be in the same spot constantly wondering, why am I not getting results? What's the secret? What's missing? It's because you didn't focus on one thing to make it successful. Once you make number 1 successful, you're going to be able to create income number source number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 very, very easy. I'm at the point in my career now, like, you know, the whole saying, the Midas touch, right? What you touch turns to gold. I'm at that point in my career, I can touch something, it turns to gold. But it's because I focused on getting success in one area first before I went and did number 2, number 3, and number 4. All right, so my 5th and final tip is avoid paid advertising until you actually have experience. Now, this is the opposite of what a lot of people teach. And a lot of people teach about jumping into paid advertising right out of the gate so you can get quick results. The problem with this is if you don't have a big budget, you're going to probably go broke. I see it time and time again. I can't count how many times in the last month people have reached out to me to say they spent $5,000 or $10,000 their life savings and have 0 results to show for it. So here's the thing you got to realize. For one, paid traffic is not some quick fix. It's not something you're just going to click a button and make money. At the end of the day, there's other skills that are necessary in order to make that convert. Like if you don't know how to create content to communicate with your audience, you're going to have a hard time making paid traffic convert. If you don't know email marketing, which is basically the follow-up with the customer, you're going to have a hard time making paid traffic convert. Once you actually have the skill sets that are necessary, it's rather easy at that point to go in if you have the right mindset with paid traffic and make it work. So here's my suggestions if you're going to do paid traffic. Number 1, make sure you have the experience. Make sure you have the skills necessary to actually make that a success, right? It's not a quick fix, as I just said. Number 2 is actually go into it with the right mindset. You need a budget in order to make paid traffic work. You need a budget, an ongoing budget. You need to expect to lose up front. You need to expect to actually buy data. So it's not really losing. What's going to happen is when you go into paid traffic, you're going to think that your campaigns are losing. You're going to think that you're losing money and you're never going to get it back. But that's not the case. If you actually have a budget, you budget every single month to master the skill, which paid traffic is a skill set. I mean, whether you're doing Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Bing PPC, Google AdWords, they're each individual skill sets. And if you don't focus on mastering them, you'll never make it right. That's why you need a budget in order to learn the skill. You keep tweaking your ads, you keep tweaking your sales funnel or whatever it may be, and eventually you'll get that to where it's profitable almost every single time. So the last thing I want to touch on with this is looking at paid traffic as like a quick fix, looking at it as it's going to get you the results quick. And the reason I talk about this is because I made that mistake. You know, I've lost well over at least $5,000, if not close to $10,000 on paid ads when I first started. Now, specifically solo ads. And if somebody tells you they're going to sell you money getting traffic, what I want you to do is run as fast as you can, as far as you can, and just like literally run them over with a car. I'm not even joking. Literally when I first got in, at the end of the day, solo ads used to be good. And they're still good in some industries. However, if you're in the business opportunity niche or you're in any type of business niche, I would avoid staying away from them. And in the beginning, people were telling me they had this money getting traffic, this high converting traffic. And I bought into that because I wanted results quicker. You know, I didn't follow some of the previous steps I shared with you about being patient and focusing on what I'm doing. I thought like this will speed up the process. So therefore I bought into this idea that they had this magic traffic source that had all the buyers, which they told me, right? The problem was at the end of the day, if you really think about this, if that person had such a magic traffic source, if that person had this like magic tap of traffic that just buys on impulse, why would they sell it to you? Why would they not just promote their own offers? Why would they not just promote another affiliate marketing offer? Why would they give it to you? They could make more money using the traffic source themselves than giving it to you. It's simple. They give you that traffic, they buy cheap traffic and send you junk traffic, and then they go get quality traffic sources, things like YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Bing PPC, Google AdWords, the ones I've already mentioned. They invest in the high quality traffic sources that actually convert. So here's the thing. Paid traffic is not a quick fix. It's something that you have to develop the right mindset to do it. It's a skill set you have to develop, and if you're serious about it, you have to actually learn how to master it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. With that being said, those are the 5 things I wish I knew when I started affiliate marketing. If you got value from this video, I'd appreciate if you'd smash that like button and comment below and let me know, what is your biggest struggle? What are you currently focusing on right now? Or what do you feel is missing in your business in order to help you get to where you want to be?